I filled up 2 of those, like 2 of the stacks. Those were from Myers from like last year. The top clips into the bottom part here. I'm gonna just place it here, I think, until I figure out where to put it, and put some of this good stuff in there so that I can plant all kinds of edible herbs. The soil is super fluffy. Let's go ahead and plant into it. Let's do some chunky goo, edible chrysanthemum. Arugula, and there's several per cell, so I only really need 1 cell. And that's more than I need. Let's see. Just make a little spot here. And put that arugula there. And it'll grow in its place. Let's see here. And I've got lots of backup, so if they have any shock, I can just replace them. So I transplanted those. Direct seeding arugula works even better, but I wanted to get a jump start. So got several here, here, and here. So they've got a good chance. And then I have to carefully position that on top of that one. Found with stacking planters is that it's really easy to plant the bottom shelves, the bottom tiers with seeds. It's way easier because you always risk harming the plants that you're planting. And then like maybe if you have starts, that on the top shelf works best. On the top shelf, I like to plant in the middle, but this is the middle shelf, so I'm not planting in the middle. Okay, so the top shelf I planted last year. The top 2 shelves I actually planted last year. The middle shelf was just like annuals. So those have since passed. I'm going to water this in a second, but this is tricolored sage. I think that might be a cherry, because as you can see, the cherry tree dropped some seeds. I'll transplant that because I want to save the cherry seedlings for rootstock. There's a little spider. This right here is rue or ruta, which is what my husband's family calls it, from Mexico. And this is a very popular medicinal plant in Mexico. So I've got 3 tricolor sages, and the top middle I planted the ruta. This is last year. This has a little bit of life in it, so I'm going to leave it. This is a sage too. We'll see if anything comes out back on it, but let's go ahead and water this baby in. And I have it right next to my irises and my grape arbor, but it's a really nice position for like getting to it easily. So if you're trying to increase how much you use from your garden, having the things that are edible, that are accessible to you, will make sure that you use it more. So like I'm going to use these for tea, that's medicine, salads. So, yay! So I am going to plant a hanging basket with salad. So we'll keep the radish there, and the radishes, the mosh, which is corn salad. This one's big seeded mosh, and then this is a mixture, and all this other stuff can go elsewhere. I'm sure I got the hanging basket from Ross. Always look for good deals. And I'm not going to plant all the seeds, but I am going to plant a little bit of all of them into this planter. And I've been slowly moving the bird feeders away from where this is going to be hanging, because I don't want bird poop on my salad, y'all. I don't want the bird poop on my salad. It is not ranch dressing. There temporarily. And we're going to make this as ergonomic as possible. So I'm placing this on top of another package so I don't have to reach down so low. Always looking for those little ergonomic hacks not to hurt your back. I'm going to pour that into there, and I'll be right back. Another ergonomic hack is I'm not poking holes. I'm going to sprinkle, and then I'm going to top it off, and then I'm going to water it. That's going to save my back and my time. With the lettuce blend, and these seeds are from 2022, so I should be using them. I'm not even going to sprinkle them in my hand because my hands might be a little bit damp. I'm just going to sprinkle. Okay, and the reason why I'm overplanting is because we're going to eat them, right? You can eat these as microgreens. young salad and so forth. You know what I might do too? In with arugula. Why not? Why not? Why not? Okay. Maybe I'll put some up here too. I'm being generous with the seeds, you guys, because if you watch my channel, you know, I buy like pounds of lettuce seeds, and I generally like to keep mine separated. And this is a mixture, so you know, might as well use it up. So, yeah, one less thing to store. So put some in here. Okay. And if I harvest an entire plant for a salad, who cares, right? Because these seeds are 3 years old. And yes, I've planted seeds that are older than that have germinated, but I don't want to waste them. Every year they lose a little bit of their viability. So I've got the seeds in there. This one up is the big seeded mosh. I usually call it like lamb's lettuce, or it's different than lamb's quarters. But you can see the seeds are different. These are kind of cool because when they go to flower, they have got little blue flowers. I'll put some in here too. Why not? Why not? Put some down here, some here. Let's just empty that out. Okay. These are from the dollar store for like, you know, less than, well, it's $1.25 for 4 packages. There's about 100 seeds in here. I counted them. So I'm going to just put some here. And I'll put a couple here. A couple here. I did put a couple pieces, little bits, pinches of soil in some places. So I'm going to use up the whole package. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this in here somewhere. And like I said, so much easier to do this than to make individual holes for all those seeds. And yes, I'm overplanting. I know this. I'm doing it intentionally because I'm going to have a bunch of baby greens. But it's not going to be on my countertop. It's going to be in a hanging pot. And like I said, I'm hanging this where I used to have bird feeders. I've been slowly moving the bird feeders away from that area because I don't want bird poop on my lettuce. Okay. Have you ever seen anybody have a hanging pot with salad? I said I was going to plant the shunginku. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. There we go. And let's go ahead and water. Oh, it's so much fun. These kind of projects are so tiny. Anyone can do it. You don't have to have space. You really don't. Look. This is a small stacker. Even if you can't afford like one of the green leaves or whatever they're called. I do have a few of those, but like that's not what I started with. Kind of get your feet wet, you know, with gardening. Try out what can you afford. Experiment. Your first couple years gardening are experiments, and every year after should also integrate some experiments because it makes it fun, keeps you doing it. But if you want a really good food crop, you want to get good at something and not just do experiments. Yes, we do. Always water your plants in unless it's been raining a lot or something, because it gets rid of like the air pockets and so forth that can harm your plants or kill them even. So you want to water them in. It also helps reduce stress and transplant shock. Ideally, when I transplant things, I like to leave them in the shade for a few days. This one here is really shady though, on that side. These are all well-established plants on top because I planted them last year. And then these I'm going to plant under the grape arbor. I'm going to water it really good though. I'll come back. It's an opportunity to show off my carnations and calendula. Aren't those pretty? And my pansies, and more pansies, and snapdragons. And then this is where I'm putting the hanging basket right over. So when I overwater, it will drip down to here. And those are some fuchsias my sister gave me for my birthday. So that's great. I got some strawberries in there. I think that looks cute. Water into there. And then you can see here, I have radishes coming up already. And I've got some more shunginku, some Malabar spinach. There's other things planted in here as well that are yet to germinate. Radishes grow fast, super rewarding, very satisfying to see things growing right away. So I recommend planting a few things that are fast. And hopefully you had a good time planting salad and herbs and stuff in the planters and the hanging basket. The loud cars and motorcycles are super charming. Anyways, everybody, be good, be sweet, grow a garden if you want to eat, and I'll see you in the next video.